What's happening, guys? Paladin here, and welcome to another stream. As you saw earlier in the community tab, Duality was announced for the Battles of Legend new pack that comes out later on next week. This card, as I said many times, is no joke. Like it can fix many problems that the deck has, and it can also offer power plays. So in my opinion, this is huge. I don't know about Shadow's Light. Like, I believe that Duality is way better in this deck, but this is huge. Like 100%, it's huge. Oh, hey Tom, what's up? So, as you can guess, Dragoon goes straight into the extra deck from now on. And right now, we probably don't need don't need Baron anymore in this deck. Like, you can have the Giga Chad Dragoon here, negating all your opponent's bullshit. So Baron may not be as needed in this deck, honestly. The thing is, do we run both Nadir Servant and Duality? The worst thing about all this is that we cannot search Duality. Like, I don't think that there's a way to actually search it. I don't think that I'm missing something here. Like, if I am, correct me. But yeah, I believe that we can cut Etude now because, you know, casterizing the format. Etude will not help in a mirror match, and it does nothing for like shit like Labyrinth and stuff like that. It was good earlier on because we had shit like Super Heavy Samurai, but I believe that now we can cut it, you know, so it can actually get the dick, in my opinion. And maybe cut also some other stuff like Chaos Angel. If we are to keep another servant in this deck, we are probably keeping the two Lulus, but that's not 100% certain for now. Regarding Shadow's Light, let me search up that shit really fast. There it is. This does a very good combo with if you run Dramaturge in this deck. Like, it can offer, you know, Christia, and, you know, go for the lock. If you want a powerful lock, Christia is fucking insane, in my opinion, and she's not that much of a brick. But anyway, my point is basically Duality. Shadow's Light needs way more testing, in my opinion. But Duality is definitely a main deck card, like hands down. Yes, exactly. You can tribute Granignol and summon Dragoon before actually activating Branded Fusion. Like, it's so fucking insane. It basically fixes the Ash Blossom problem. You also have a negate on board for like shit like Evenly or whatever your opponent wants to throw at you. And Dragoon is a card that some decks cannot really beat. Like, especially if you want to actually, let's say, Labyrinth can't really beat it that easily, for example. Let's say Labyrinth. That's the only deck that I have in mind right now. So you can actually have Dragoon in here without having to run a Dark Magician in the deck. So that's one advantage. So you're minus one brick. Like before, if you wanted to actually play Dragoon, you had to run one Dark Magician, you know, for the pop and all that shit. Now you don't really need that. Duality also has a draw effect. So that one discard that you will, let's say, waste one card from your hand, can actually, let's say, replace it, because you can basically banish this and target one light and one dark from your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck and draw one card. So you're not really -1 from the Dragoon negate. So worst case scenario, you will get the card you discarded back with that one draw. Yes, Duality is in the Battles of Legends set. It's confirmed today, like an hour ago, from some other YouTubers. Same goes for Shadow's Light. That set, in my opinion, is so fucking insane. Like, I saw some other reprints there, like Masquerina, Nessie, the Brave Engine, also Secret Rare, Ibli, Zeus. What else? If I don't remember exactly. It has many good stuff in there. Like, it's actually insane in my opinion. It's amazing. It's an amazing set. But anyway, Duality is what we actually need for the deck. The set also has Super Police, Secret Rare, for those who want to, have some better rarities into the deck. Yes, Dark Magician won't be needed with Duality right now, and you basically don't give a fuck about your opponent's House Blossom as long as you have this card in hand, because you have many ways to go for Gragignol. And actually, Gragignol with this, it's a guarantee. Branded Fusion resolved if you go first. And actually, if you go also second, it's also very good. And let's not forget that Duality can also, if you chain it on Gragignol, can also help, if you want to actually avoid the hand trap like Veiler or Impermanence on Gragignol, for the Foolish Barrel effect. So that's amazing in my opinion. Like the card does way more. If I'm correct, also you can also turn an Albion, the old one, into the new one, because they are both dragons. They have the same level, and the one is dark and the other one is light. So you can actually chain the Duality on summon of the Albion here to actually get this one. So that's also something else to be, to have in mind, in my opinion. Yes, all the punk cards are also in Battles of Legend. That set is insane. I don't know about the prices and stuff, but that set is fucking insane. One question here is what will be the price of this card? Like the Duality one. I don't really know, to be honest. I just hope it's not that much, it's not that fucking expensive. I don't know about the price, honestly. Yes, for Albion is actually insane, because this one, the light one, is very good for the grind game, and the other one can actually can be very good in the graveyard, to set your branded spells or add them in hand in the end phase. If I'm correct, next week Battles of Legend will be out. So like 10 days from now, 11 days, something like that. Yes, Duality is in the new Battles of Legend set. I've told you that there is a possibility, and that this set is a very good opportunity to actually have the card there. And but I didn't know that Konami would actually go for that. What I'm kind of sad about is that they released the alternative artworks of the Sky Strikers there, but not the invoked ones, except if I'm missing something, but I think that the invoked cards are not in there. So anyway, the Duality, in my opinion, is an insane card. It's definitely something that you don't want to miss if you play Branded. This card will actually change a lot in the deck. Like right now, you can actually dodge as Blossoms for free. You can have an Omni Negate finally for free, and the Gragignol that you actually tribute to go for Dragoon will be in the graveyard. So in the next turn, in your opponent's turn, if your opponent actually summons anything from hand, you can actually go only and summon Lulu and have another negate. Like what this card does for the deck is way more than a simple dragoon. It can actually also send Granular in the graveyard. It's basically perfect for this deck in my opinion. Shadow's Light is kind of better in the invoked variants, invoke Shadows because of Cartesia. You can actually summon Cartesia. I've showed you the combo that ends on Mekaba, Winda, Appaloosa, and Borderlord Savage Dragon. So I'm not really sure about Shadow's Light, although as I said, you can actually, if you run Ad Libitum or Dramaturg, you can actually have the Christia lock worst case scenario if you really want to play that. One other play that some of you have suggested is to actually tribute Aluber, to go for the Herald. Let me search that shit really fast. This one, but to dodge hand traps and stuff. But guys, don't forget that if you do that, you will not be able to actually play Branded Fusion, because this is a synchro monster, and Branded Fusion doesn't allow you to special summon anything from the extra except fusion monsters. So I wouldn't really go for that combo personally, because it kind of conflicts with the deck. So in my opinion, at least I believe that it's not good for the deck. As I said, you can make Dragoon with Duality. You can make the new Albion card by chaining it to the summon of the old one, the Dark Albion. The Granular that will go to the graveyard once you tribute it for Dragoon. It will stay in the graveyard and you can summon in your opponent's turn Lulu. So that's another play. I don't actually know if I've forgotten anything. If I did, please correct me. Yes, exactly. You can play around Impermanence. You can play around Veiler on your Granular. So that's fucking dope, because you can actually go +++, because Granular can dump in the graveyard like Albion or Garura if you want to draw, or Bringrand to have a Mercurial in hand, stuff like that. So it does actually way more than just a Dragoon in the deck, in my opinion. The thing is that we need to make changes in the deck with this card, but the problem is, as I said, that it's not searchable. Like this one, sometimes I would actually like it even more if it would be a normal spell, because you can search it with Thrust. But as a quick play, it's not bad at all, to be honest. You can actually chain it, and dodge some hand traps. The real, let's say, debate here is like, do we run both Nadir Servant and Duality? That's the real question here, because one of the two actually fixes the problem completely, while the other one, for Nadir Servant, that's what I'm talking about, it doesn't fix the problem, but fixes, let's say you don't get as much damage as you think from just a single Ash Blossom. What do you guys think? Do we keep both? Do we keep both Nadir Servant and Duality? What would you do? Would you keep both? I believe that Duality on its own, it's really good, but the thing is that you will not always have it in hand. So we keep both. Yeah, to be honest, that wouldn't be that bad. And the good thing is that comparing to stuff like Crossout, actually Duality doesn't need targets in the deck, like blossoms or other hand traps or whatever the fuck you need to run for the cross out. So that's something. And the second thing is that right now the deck becomes way stronger, so that's another thing to keep an eye on, because I believe that right now with duality, if before you didn't actually need the puppet lock, right now you don't really need it at all. Like you can make a board with like Mirror Jade and Dragoon and Mercurial in hand and Branded in Red set to have a Chimera. If you play the Bastials, you can also have another interruption. Like, I don't think that you need the gimmick puppet anymore. Like, I saw some lists yesterday from some regionals, if I'm correct, it was the Philly and some other big ones, and a guy that topped the French nuts. They didn't run the gimmick puppet. Like, they won with just Despia. And that's the correct way, in my opinion. You don't need the card. Especially now that you have duality and more stuff to play with, you don't really need the card. Yes, now there is not searchable, of course. That's a fact, 100%. So if you actually run the two of them, you have like 6 cards to counter as Blossom, either before they activated or after they activated. But worst case scenario, you will get a Mirror Jade afterwards with a Lulu combo, while with duality you will also have like both Dragoon and Mirror Jade. But that's definitely 2 ways to counter as Blossom now, not even 1. Basically, the thing with Dragoon is not the Dark Ruler no more. The thing with Dragoon is that the most important part about it and duality is to actually make your Branded Fusion resolve. That's the best part about this card. It's not if it gets Dark Rulered or something like that. It's about resolving your Branded Fusion. It actually guarantees that, to be honest. The thing is that with the synchros, as I said earlier, that conflicts with Branded Fusion. So I wouldn't really suggest that, because you know that Branded Fusion opening, they don't really allow you to special summon anything else. So if you go for a synchro, you won't be able to actually play fusion. The thing is that with a puppet, as I said, regardless that it's a Buri going second, like it won't be useful at all. There are many ways to counter it. Like you can, like your opponent can actually shifter you, casterize everywhere. Battle Dragon Link is also popular right now. There are hand traps. There are many stuff actually that can counter the lock right now. And if they actually manage to stop the lock, then what? What do you have? Because you will have Albion on board. You will not have Mirror Jade. Like with duality, you can have at least one Mirror Jade, one Dragoon, one Mercurial, let's say, and a potential Lulu. This is the worst board you can make with this card, because it's actually, you don't actually need resources to summon Dragoon. It's like one card for one card. Duality for Granuol. And that Granuol that will go to the graveyard will resolve and will also give you another card in hand, either in the end phase or you know, at that time, if you decide to throw in some stuff like Garura, let's say. Actually, if I'm to play both Nadir and Duality, 100% I would play 3 dualities, not 2. honestly. Like, I believe that if I compare the two cards, Duality is way better because it actually guarantees that you will resolve the Brand Fusion. But the second one is also, as I've said many times, it's also good because it can actually give you either Quem on board by dumping Lulu. It can actually give you Mercurial in hand if you dump Bring Round. It can actually set a Blooded in red, give you other stuff. So both cards have their own advantages. I just think that Duality does that better because it actually doesn't allow your opponent to stop your Brand Fusion. It's guaranteed. It will resolve 100%. You will also get a new video about it, so don't worry. Like, I will also make a new guide, about the card, more replays, more stuff. I'm also going to stream tonight on Twitch. Probably I'm going to stream TCG tonight. Like, I don't really think that I will do that for Master Duel. It's kind of tiring, to be honest. And I kind of hate that I have to actually grind for the cards. Like, fuck them. Yeah, I ran Kurikara actually because it can damage Kastira a lot. And Kastira is like everywhere right now. It's really good, in my opinion. Yeah, Shadow's Light is also in the set. But I don't find that as good in this deck. Like, I believe that Duality is way better. I've tested Shadow's Light in Invoked Shadows, and it was way better there because of Cartesia. But I believe that Duality is way better here in Despia. I have to also experiment with the Bastials because if I want to actually run another to run Super Poly, because right now, I won't lie, I'm considering maining Super Poly also in this deck. So I basically have to cut 3 cards for it. One is Etude, like 100% fuck it. Right now we don't need that, honestly. But I don't know what I will do with the Bastials, to be honest. Like, I may also reduce them because right now, like, the only target for Rebellion is Lost. Probably, yeah, Rebellion 2, probably. Super Poly right now may be actually even better because you will play many mirrors. You can actually go versus Caster a lot. So Super Poly is not a card to actually not considered in the main deck. Many lists that topped lately in big regionals and stuff, basically most of them had Super Poly in the main, and I agree with that. Like, the card right now is good. Especially if you have the space in the extra, it's so fucking good. One thing that I can do with the Bastials is to actually play them 1-1 and play like a small engine in the side, like 3 Magnas, 1 Druids, and 1 what's the common one called? Baldrake. By the way, Baldrake is an ultra rare in Battles of Legend. That's fucking insane. We finally get that as a foil, so I fucking love that. So one thing is that we can actually go for the for that engine in the side deck. So if I am to actually cut the Bastials, I would do something like this. Although Druids is fucking good, like, I fucking love Druids, but anyway, I agree with some people that you may not actually need the card as much in the main. So this is, let's say we throw in 3 Super Polys. We throw in Garura in the extra, that can also be dumped by Graniol. I don't like the 60 card version because the problem with that is that you actually do not see your side deck cards as often going second. That's my problem basically with all the 60 card versions. I won't lie, like I don't see my stuff that often. While in the 40 card version, you will most likely see your stuff. And as I said, we have no way to search duality, so we actually need to run the deck at 40 if we want to have actually more chances to open this card. No, I don't play the gimmick. No, I don't like the card. Like I've said that. And to be honest, many other guys have said that. Like Joshua also have said that. Joshua Schmidt, the German pro player and also streamer. Like I saw that he said that on his stream, and I fucking agree. I won't lie. Like he was correct in that. I actually find way better the board breakers this format. So Dark Lure may also be not that bad, honestly, if you want to play that. Like versus Castera, for example, it's exactly what you need. 45 and 50, like I'm good with the 45 deck, but not that good with the 51. Like 50, I believe that it's a very high number in my opinion. I don't know. I believe that's a very high number. I believe that 45, it's more, you know, it's better. It's better. But 50, it's kind of too much. Except if you play something like a fusion pile with, let's say, patchwork and stuff. Oh, and another thing, people now have started to play the patchwork engine, which is also not as bad right now, because it actually adds resources, and Droll isn't as popular in the main anymore. So let's go with something like this, let's say. So this is 40. And honestly, now with the two bustles here, we are not going to play the Rembrandt combo. Like, I don't think that we need that. So probably branded in white can also be got, I think. Yeah, the lock is definitely busted, but like I will tell you something. I was testing the deck with a lock like a week ago, like let's say 10 games, and I played like most of them were Castera. I got shifted, and the card was fucking useless. And many times I was also drawing that shit. Like I'm not really lucky with drawing the bricks. Like when I play Gamma, I always open with driver, so I'm not going to mess with that, honestly. If you want another starter here, you can actually play Foolish Burial with one tragedy. That would not be bad at all, to be honest. I agree with Patchwork that it's a brick. I won't lie, but especially now with the duality, I don't need that. You actually need the card. I don't think that you need it, but some people like to play it, so I respect that. Honestly, I do respect that. So if you would play the Mud Dragon in the extra, what would you cut from this extra deck here? What would you guys cut? The second Lulu probably. Duality comes out in like 10 days from now. Next Thursday, if I'm correct. Yeah, to be honest, I've thought of Prosperity, I've thought of prosperity because I really want to. It actually helps adding duality in hand. Like, but man, this deck, it's so fucking reliant on the extra deck. Like especially when it goes for the grind game, you fucking need basically, if not all of your extra, like at least 80% of it. That's the bad thing. Like it's not like Castera that actually banishes 6 cards with prosperity, and then they can they can use what they banish. They can attach them to a rise card. Despia cannot do that. Then that's a really bad thing, to be honest. Yes, Aluber can really turn into a herald, but then you won't be able to actually play Brand Fusion. That's the problem. Prosperity, though, is not is something that I've not thought about. Like, I believe that it's definitely a card that would help. It's just the deck that cannot play it because it's too much extra deck reliant, in my opinion. So in here, let's say that we cut Kurikara. Let's say that. And we have 3 empty slots left. Let's say that we play 1 tragedy. Oh, come on. 1 tragedy. And 1 foolish burial. Alright. To be honest, I would also cut the branding in white right now. I don't think that that we need that if we are not going to go for the Rimbram combo, honestly. Yeah, I've thought about grinding all at 2 copies, to be honest. The thing is that, what the fuck would I cut? That's the problem. That's the issue. This deck, comparing to others, it has such a tight extra deck. Like it's very standard. You now need Dragoon, like 100%. You need Albion, even if you don't run the lock because it's good for the grind game. It's also a target for duality. 2 Mirror Jades are fucking standard. 2 Albions are fucking standard. Lubellion cannot be cut. At least that one is mandatory. Grinding all is also really good. I really want to play this at 2, not gonna lie. Rimbram is there because it can actually help in many cases. Bringland is also good because it can be dumped with Gragnol or Nadir Servant or Mirror Jade. So it's a target basically for at least 3 cards. Chimera, it's fucking mandatory. There's nothing to actually say about it. We have here 2 good Super Poly targets, and we have 2 Lulus. Cutting 1 Lulu wouldn't hurt as much, not gonna lie, but since we ran a there, that could be a little bit tricky. Like, I think that many times at least when I play, I summon the one with the Gragnol, and I dump the other one with like Nadir. So there, most of the times I do really need 2 copies. About the Chimera fusion cards, listen, in my opinion, as long as Despia has all the cards are 3 and it's not hitting the TCG, don't mess up with that variant. Like, if you want to get the cards and have them in a binder just in case, do that. But you don't really need to mess up with those cards as long as you have all these here at 3. Like, the deck is untouched in the DCG. There's no point, in my opinion, to actually go for a variant that is probably a little bit more weak than the standard one. To be honest, the problem with crossout, like I've said before, is that, alright, you can run 3 crossouts and one as Blossom. That's 4 cards. But in order to actually take full advantage of crossout, you have to actually run more stuff. like more targets for it. What will happen if they throw impermanence at you and you don't have a target, but you do have crossout in hand? That's where crossout is like a -1 in hand. That's the problem. In my opinion, crossout is way better in decks that can actually run way more targets for it. Like, I wish that we would have Called by the Grave at least at 2, but unfortunately we don't. So I believe that that one Called by the Grave is way better. And now we have duality. Like, there's no point to actually play crossout, in my opinion. No, you don't. You don't need the Dark Magician for the Dragoon. You have the new chat card, the Duality, that can actually say to your opponent, "Fuck you," and take that Ash Blossom and shove it up your ass. No, I don't think that the Shadow's Light is that needed in the deck right now. Like, I believe that we can actually not play it. It's better in other decks, like probably Chaos variants or stuff like that. So let's say we play one Mercurial. To be honest, I've also thought about Allure Servant, Allure of Darkness. But I don't know if I would play that card. Like, alright, we don't have, let's say, Droll in the format, like in the main. At least most of the decks do not run it in the main. But I'm kind of skeptical when it comes to Allure right now. Like, I would like to play something like a pot, but this fucking deck plays like too many one-offs. And that's a big problem. Like, when before the deck got the Darkwing Blast cards and the Photon Hypernova, where, you know, we would play like something like Patchwork and stuff. I played Desires back then, I won't lie, and I fucking love that, along with Allure, of course. But now we cannot do that. Like, we can't do that. I like Talent. Yes, Talent. I'm between actually Talent and Dark Ruler, but I think that Talent is way better because it can actually give you draws, and or, you know, take a look at your opponent's hand and fuck it. So yeah, Talents wouldn't be as bad, to be honest. Talents is definitely something I would run. Let's say two talents. Like, we have talents is very good, for example, in the Casterham matchup. You make the Arise Heart to actually activate its effect, and you take that motherfucker on your side of the field. The thing is that I've thought of duplication, but man, I don't like the card. Like, as a trap, generally I don't like traps in this deck, I won't lie. Like, aside from Retribution, that can actually offer way more than just a normal trap, I don't think that I would run duplication, because I've run into a guy yesterday. I was testing, because I play also Castera right now on TCG, and he played duplication. He bricked so fucking bad. Like, he would actually play something else, in my opinion. I'm not really a fan of the card, honestly. For the Ash Blossom play, yeah, I get it. I get why you would go for actually the duplication, but now we have duality. Why play duplication in the first place? Like, you don't really need it, in my opinion. because if you decide to play both Nadir Servant and Duality, there's no point in that. For those who missed the first part of the stream, the targets for Duality, the best ones at least, are Dragoon. If you target Granignol here, the new Albion card with the old Albion card, let's say, and then the next play, if you decide to actually target the Granignol, is to special Lulu from the graveyard in your opponent's turn. So actually you have like another boss on board, another negate. The thing is that not if there are other targets. The thing is that how good are they? Because I don't think that there's something better than Dragoon. Right? Dragoon is the standard play. But of course, there's also a possibility that I've forgotten about another target. I won't lie. Yes, you don't lose value because, first of all, with Duality, Granignol can dodge an impermanent Surveiller. That's the first thing. Secondly, it will dump a card like Garura or Albion or whatever, so you get one card plus one card in hand. And you have Granignol in the graveyard for your opponent's turn actually to summon Lulu and have another boss. Like the standard, if you go for the Granignol play with Duality, the standard board is like Dragoon, Mirror Jade, and then let's say you have a Branded in Red set because you've dumped Albion with Granignol, and you have Granignol in the graveyard with Lulu. So with like 2 or 3 cards, you have at least 4 interruptions, regardless of what other stuff you have in hand, of course. In my opinion, listen, because I have had that question many times about Lubellion because it's expensive. I won't lie, the deck can be played without the Bastials because this deck actually has many ways to be played. The Bastials just add some more plays in the standard ones. Like, you dump Lubellion with Branded Fusion, you can actually tribute Albion, set Lost. Lost is important, for example. But if you don't have Lubellion, it's not the end of the world. You can still play this deck like full gas. Like the most important card from the expensive ones, it's Cartesia. Like, in my opinion, you cannot play without her. And right now with Duality, the card is super fucking mandatory, especially at 2. Like, it's super fucking mandatory, in my opinion. Yeah, one Lubellion at least, it's let's say not mandatory, but it can actually help a lot, because first of all you can send Albion in the graveyard, secondly you add Lost, and you know how that goes with the Lost. So in my opinion, at least one Lubellion is needed in the deck, but as I said before, it's not mandatory. You can 100% play without it. Just make sure to get 2 Cartesias. The problem is that for those that don't have Lubellion and Cartesias, the Megatins come out in like 3 months from now. That's the problem. That's a really big problem in my opinion. For those who don't have those cards, for example. Like, you can play, if you don't have Cartesias and you don't have let's say the Bastials, you can play something like a patchwork variant, like before the Darkwing Blast came out, but obviously it's not as good. You know that. The thing is that for that branded Lost comment, it's not that mid, to be honest, because Lost can actually win you the mirror match. It's very fucking important in the mirror match, in my opinion. So the card is no joke. Like your opponent not being able to respond to your fusion summons, that's no joke, because Mirror Jade can activate on summon and they can't fucking respond. You can actually remove whatever you want from the field. That's important in my opinion. Hugs from Brazil. Same from Greece. Yeah, Secret Alubers look so fucking dope, I won't lie. Like, I do prefer the ulti ones. Like, I'm a rarity whore, I'm not gonna lie on that. But if we are talking about the secrets, the Dama ones, the original ones, are way better looking in my opinion. Like I didn't like as much the ones from the teens. Like in terms of the how they looked. Let's say that I find the first one more, how can I say that, more original, let's say that way. Yeah, at least one Cartesia. That's better than nothing, to be honest. Like in here in Europe, it's like 50 or 60 euros or something like that. I don't know about USA or other countries. I don't really have a view of that. Like I don't know shit about TCG player and stuff like that. I only know about card market, to be honest. So in here it's like 50 euros or 60 or something like that. But it's definitely not cheap. But it's super mandatory, especially now. Yeah, actually, Duality can actually make the Dogmatica engine way more strong, because you can actually you can actually set the duality. Let's say you play a Dogmatica engine, one Ecclesia and one Flare. You can actually negate with that one Flare a monster of your opponent, then change duality and summon Dragoon with that Flare. Like you have two negates with one card. It's fucking insane. In my opinion, whoever plays Dogmatica, duality gives them a huge boost. Yes, for those who run the Fleur de Lis, not in this deck. Like I don't believe that this deck needs the Dogmatica engine. Aside from Nadir Servant, you can actually turn your Fleur into a Dragoon. Like Invoke Dogma gets way better with that, but Shadow's Light is definitely no joke. Like if you want to play something like Invoked Shadow again, you can play Shadow's Light and make a huge board. Like I've showed that. If I'm correct, I've made a video on that. Like you end up on an Appaloosa, on Savage, on a Winda, a Mechaba, and maybe also Regine. I'm not sure 100% if you get also Regine. Is Iris level 8 or level 7? Let me check out something really fast. Yeah, it's a level 8 spellcaster. Yes, Iris Soul can also be turned into a Dragoon. That's also. And let me check up something really fast. And Maximus can be turned into Dragoon, but not if you have searched it with Nadir Servant, of course. Maybe in your opponent's turn. Maybe that. But that's it's not that, it's not about Despia. It's about the other decks. You don't really need cards like this one in this deck. As I said before, I respect the people that play it, but I've told you guys what I think about Maximus, and as I said on Twitch the other day, when I made that video about Maximus in Despia, I didn't really mean to spread hate or something, because you may not know that, but many people actually personally attacked me about that, and I don't know why the fuck they were that triggered. Like, honestly, I don't know. But I got actually personally attacked for that video. But I won't really sit back. Don't expect me to not express my opinion. Like, fuck you. Yes, Granignol can be turned into Dragoon. I'm actually very excited because this set is not only about duality, it also has a Zeus inside. It has the Brave engine that many people couldn't afford till now. It has the punk cards, like Foxy was like 30 euros in here, if not more. Ibli, for example. Personally, I wanted to get the Iblis because, as I said, I also play Castera real life. What else does it have? One thing that surprised me was the Spiral Quick Fix as a Starlight, or whatever the fuck that rarity is called. That really surprised me, I won't lie. But here's the real question. Are you Puppet Gang or no? I'm actually not. I'm actually not, to be honest. Like, even when Expulsion was like legal, I sided that card for game 2 because I expected many people to actually play evenly, so I was just giving them something to prevent the evenly matched. But Puppet was way better back then. Right now, Puppet needs, let's say, more setup to actually be played, because back then you just played one Brown Diffusion, you set Expulsion with the Albion, and you do the lock in your opponent's turn. While right now, if you go for the Brown Diffusion route, you actually need to jump the Puppet with Granignol, so you will waste your Granignol for that. And the problem is that if you go for the Maximus route, as I said, you may actually shoot yourself, and that's not that good. As I said, that's my opinion. I don't want to influence people. That's not why I make these videos. It's just my insight, personally. I just say to respect Maximus because he is the high church priest. Like, Maximus reminds me of some RPGs, like when you walk inside a cathedral or something like that. I don't know, for those who have played Dark Souls 3, for example, that you walk, inside the cathedral and there's a boss with most of the times with some healers and stuff like that, and you basically have to fight him, and there's music in Latin. That's so fucking dope. Like, when Maximus came out, I was really excited about his artwork. Not only his artwork, like for the whole package, it was so Dark Soulish. Like, I'm kind of obsessed with those games. So I was like, all right, this is the shit. This is the real deal. And for those who don't know, some days before Dogmatica came out, like 3 years ago, like, or 4, I believe that it was 3 years ago. I was like 100% sure to actually quit the game I was very bored back then. I was playing like in Fox Dolls or something like that, and I was like, I'm very bored. I will probably quit the game. I wanted to actually shut down the channel back then, which was not that popular as it is now. So consider Dogmatica as the the reason why I still play the game and this channel still exists. If you want many singles from this set, actually go for it. But the problem is we don't know the ratios, honestly. Like, personally, I don't go for the boxes. I won't lie on this. Like, I personally go for the singles. Like, find a seller that has all the stuff, buy all of them from the guy, and then call it a day. Like, opening booster boxes or stuff like that, it's like gambling, to be honest. It's nothing is guaranteed. Like, you may open godly, but you may open some shitty box, and that's a waste of money, because I don't think that all these secrets are going to be that expensive, in my opinion. Because I think that if you are planning to get like 2 or 3 more boxes, better go for the singles, because with that amount of money you will probably get all the singles you need. Yes, there will be a video later on, probably tomorrow, because I will stream in like 3 hours from now on Twitch later on. Probably tomorrow morning you will have a duality video with some text. I will try to see if I can find more targets for it, because right now I could only think about Dragoon and the new Albion card. But in general, I believe that there are more targets. I've just not probably found them till now. But I don't think that there's a better, let's say, target than Dragoon in this deck, because Dragoon actually guarantees that your brand fusion will resolve. So if anything, we'll probably find some mediocre targets for it. Yeah, I do think that the lore, the Dogmatica lore, is inspired by the Soul games. Like, if you see the field spell of the Dogmaticas, I don't know if you guys have played Dark Souls and stuff like that. Where it is? Yeah, this one. It's like Anor Londo. If you've played Dark Souls and you know Anor Londo, this is fucking real, in my opinion. Like 100%. For this new build, how do you get around hand traps? The only hand trap, in my opinion, that you actually have to worry about is only Ash Blossom. Like, if you get drolled, you don't give a fuck, because this deck can make a board. Impermanence rarely stops the deck. Same goes for a Veiler. And if you have Dragoon on board and you don't get Ash Blossomed, like, Nibiru can also get the dick. So I don't think that this deck loses to any other hand trap other than Ash Blossom. Only Ash Blossom is the real problem in this deck. And as I said the other day, it would be such a meme if they would decide to throw an ulti Ash Blossom in the same OTS pack as the ulti brand diffusion. To have an ulti Ash Blossom to negate your ulti branded fusion. That would be so fucking hilarious. Oh hey, what's up? 7 Days Gaming. Yes, Halberd can turn into a Herald of the Arclight with the duality, but the problem, as I said, is that later on you will not be able to play your branded fusion, because they kind of conflict with each other. That's the problem. About the Discord that many of you are actually asking for, I will actually make one like 100%, probably soon, like in the upcoming days, to actually unite all the channel's community. So that's probably something that I will do. But don't worry, it will happen 100%. Yeah, that's such a fucking meme. Like, if you have an ulti branded fusion, your opponent cannot negate it with lower rarity cards, and I don't give a fuck if they call a judge. It's an ulti. I paid my ass for it. You can't fucking negate it. But it would be such a meme if they would release Ash Blossom in there to actually negate the brand fusion. Such a savage move, honestly. Exactly. They can only negate your Starlight Quem and Cartesia with a Starlight Veiler, or else they can fuck off. So anyway, this is where I'm wrapping up the stream. You will find me in like 3 or 4 hours from now on Twitch. Today I will probably stream TCG and not Master Duel. I'm kind of bored of it, I won't lie. I don't know how the fuck people play that shit. I basically got into it because of the Bastials, but it's so fucking boring. And the fact that it doesn't have a best of 3 makes it like even worse. So what I'm thinking of doing is actually downloading Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega, building a brownie deck there, you know, like the Edge Pro, and start climbing the ladder there. I don't like Dueling Book because I fucking hate the slow players and the fact that I have to wait forever for judges and stuff. So yeah, fuck it, I'm not doing that shit. I played in the Dueling Network when that shit was legal. I'm not doing that again. So I will probably download Omega, probably later on when I wrap up the stream, and stream on that tonight. I actually enjoy it more to play on TCG simulator, to be honest. Like, it's more realistic. You don't get your ass max seed, and it's more, it's not that boring. So that's what I'm thinking of doing, honestly. Yeah, that meme was great. Yeah, that last comment was gold. I'd let them negate my cards. For cash payments, PayPal is fine. That's so fucking dope. Oh man, this is so fucking dope. That was amazing, man. That was amazing. It actually made my day. Fusion reinforcement. What kind of card is that? Let me check out really fast. Oh, the new card with the flame swordsman. Oh, the fuse materials mentioned. All right. Yeah, I saw that card. I didn't really like it though. Like, it's like a worse deployment. I wouldn't really run the card, to be honest. At least the way the deck is right now, I don't think that we need it. But I get your point. I do get that and respect that. Actually, I'm thinking of building the deck and playing a little bit on Twitch tonight in like 3 hours from now. So, because I have now to actually get my dog for a walk, he will fucking kill me if I want. That's kind of more important, to be honest. But probably tonight on stream on Twitch we will actually test duality to see how that goes. Probably on Omega, or a worst case scenario here on Edo Pro. Like fuck it, why not? But definitely I will start streaming TCG. Like I'm fucking bored of Master Duel. I won't lie. Like grinding and crafting and all that shit. No, that's not for me. Bro, there was a time my dog grabbed one of my ulti alubers and ran around the house, and I was fucking chasing him. I was so fucking lucky that he didn't actually damage the card. It was like the most frightening 5 minutes of my life. All right. I get that, yeah. Like most probably he will eat mine. So I don't know. So anyway, this is where I'm wrapping up the stream. I have to actually go for a walk with my dog. Later on, in like 3 hours from now, I will stream on Twitch. I will leave you the link below if you want to follow me. I would really appreciate that. Basically, on Twitch, I will actually stream, play live, while on here we'll actually make discussion videos on YouTube. But Twitch will mostly be for live streams, games, matches and stuff like that. So anyway, thank you. If I'm correct, my Discord name is Alistair7. I haven't been on Discord for like months, but I believe that it's Alistair7. Yeah, the Ironclad maybe for the 15th card is dope. No, I wouldn't get duality for $35 right now, to be honest. It kind of, it's way too high in my opinion. I wouldn't do that. Like, if you want my honest opinion, it would probably sit around $20 if not less. I wouldn't go for like $100 for the playset. It's kind of too high in my opinion. Magnum the Reliever. Who's that boy? Oh, this one. This guy. All right. It's not bad if you have the space for it, but the way the deck is right now, I don't think I can find a free space for this shit. To be honest. Although his artwork kind of reminds me of something. Probably the new Vanquish card. Yeah, it's very similar to Values. That's what it actually reminds me of. Yeah, Battle of Legend cards are usually not that expensive. Like the last time that cards were like way expensive, where it was like the Brothers of Legend set that had the droplet in there. It was like $60 if I'm correct, but I don't think that duality will be that high. It has way more, let's say, staples in there. Duality is not for all the decks. It's like for a couple of decks. yeah, in my opinion, don't fall for the pre-order prices. And I'm saying this as a seller, to be honest. They're way too high from now. There's, of course, there's a hype, but why do that? Why do that? Like $100 for a playset of 3 cards? No, thank you. No, thank you. I wouldn't do that. So anyway, this is where I'm wrapping up the stream. I will see you in like 3 hours from now on Twitch, if you want to follow me. We will probably test Duality tonight, see how that goes, if we need to actually make some changes in the deck. I will leave you down below the link for my Twitch channel. If you want to follow me, I would massively appreciate that. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for being on this stream right now. Stay safe and see ya on 3 hours on Twitch.